Hello everyone. Um, this is the guideline for Project 1 and Project 2 for English syntax. So for Project 1, it is the mid-exam. Your focus will be analyzing sentences into constituents as well as the phrase. And then the object of analysis will be a sonnets written by Shakespeare, and every students will be um, required to analyze one sonnet. The due date for this project is 16th of May 2023. So for the procedure, first you need to check the Microsoft Excel template on sheet 3, check the student list, and then check your name as well as the sonnet number you will be assigned. Afterwards, analyze one Shakespeare sonnets based on the student's list, and then write your answer in sheet 1 using that Microsoft Excel template. Rename the sheets using your name. Lastly, submit your task via GForm before the due date, which is 16 May 2023. So this is the procedure of the analysis. First, you will be asked to analyze the grammatical and syntactic errors. You will need to identify the errors and revise the errors. As I have mentioned before, sonnets is really a fictional work which has really strict characteristics. For example, it consists of 14 lines, and each line have 10 syllables, and then it has a rhyme A B A B, C D C D, E F E F, and G G. In general, those 14 sentences can be divided into 4 sentences. Because this is a poem based on fictional work, so there is adjustment. There should be adjustments from the actual sentences. So your task would be to identify errors which could be caused by adjustment made by Shakespeare. Note what kind of errors probably appear in that particular sonnets. You can consult the Grammarly draft, the document. I will attach it here. And then you need to take notes that some words, vocabularies, dictions are written in Old or Middle English. Those vocabularies and dictions are not considered as errors. So just focus on syntactic and grammatical errors. For example, there is no to be, for example, there is no subject, there is no object, something like that. Second one, analyze the sentence structure. You need to identify the structure of each line of poem. Afterwards, identify the phrases and the constituents which constitute the lines. And you can use the abbreviations which we usually use in our list. The third one is sentence reconstruction. So you need to combine the poem line and reconstruct those lines into sentences. A sentence generally contains a noun phrase and a verb phrase. So you can break the sentence into sentences if necessary. And if you create or if you add new words, put the additional words in brackets. So I will show you how we can analyze it. First, you will need to focus on um, the third sheet about the student list. Here is arrangement based on your class and name as well as sonnets number. So check the name, your name and then sonnets number which you will analyze. So for example, Delia will analyze sonnets number 61, Rafi sonnet 97, Ihsan sonnet 148, Satya 150, and so on. You need to analyze one sonnet which consists of 14 lines. So after that, go to the second line. Here, I provide an example for you to help you analyze the sonnets. So first, copy the sonnets from the most left column. Check the sonnet number. So for example, this is sonnet number 7, consisting of 14 lines. And this, after that, I use sonnet 1 as an example. Identify the errors in each of lines. If you find the errors, if you don't find the errors, it's okay. You can consult with this Grammarly check, Grammarly documents checks. I already check it with the Grammarly for your own reference. And then have a look at this sonnets. For example, this is sonnets number 1. Here you can see that each sonnets will have like signs, what number of the errors. And then you can go to a list of errors, for example, here. So Grammarly will suggest you some changes and some errors, will identify some errors. However, you need to take note that not all errors identified by Grammarly are actually errors, because Grammarly is just tool. You need to decide by yourself. Then you need to decide whether this is really error or not. Note that some words written in Middle or Old English, like thou, thine, thyself, thy, mixed, and so on, are not error because they are correct words in the past. So you can skip those errors if you find them. And after that, you will need to write the sentence structure of each lines. So for example, from fairest creatures, we desire increase. Here you see from fairest creatures are prepositional phrase. So you can write it as PP, brackets, from fairest creatures. Then space, you see the noun phrase here is we, noun phrase, brackets we. And the VP consists of a desire and another NP, increase, and so on. So analyze the structure of each line. So later on, you will see that each line consists of several sentences, and each sentence have structure, but then the structure might not be necessarily grammatical. For example, you see here on line 11, VP, NP, PP, it should have a noun phrase. If it is a sentence, it should be a noun phrase. But then, because this is not a sentence, so it is written as like this one. So you will take notes that sometimes there is an NP without a VP in the middle. So this is considered as an error. So it missed something. For example, it missed the verb. So it should be thyself, are, thyfu, but then the author just write it as thyself, thyfu, PP, adjective phrase, and so on. And afterwards, each of these sentences, so for example, the first one consists of sentence. Sentence 1 consists of line 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rewrite them into a correct sentence, so you can reconstruct the sentence. You can change the arrangement, you can change the order to make it like a correct sentences. So what we aim by this one is to show that basically these arrangements of poem can also be constructed into a correct sentence. However, there will be some adjustment. For example, you will add new words probably, or you will change the order of the words. For example, you put noun phrase at the beginning, followed by verb phrase, and so on. So if you add words, new words, you need to put it in brackets like this one, thy, though. You need to add subject, so you need to put it here. So what you need to do, check your student list and then analyze it in number 1, this sheets number 1. This is the template for you, and look at sheets number 2 for an example on how you can do it. So generally The project one will consist of a test which will examine your ability to identify errors which emerge in poem, write the structure, identify the structure. You can consult with the dictionary for that one. And lastly, to reconstruct a sentence. So each sonnet, for example, sonnet number 1 will consist of 4 sentences from line 1 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 12, and then 13 and 14. So I already give, for example, new editions would be put in the brackets. That was for project 1. You will need to submit your answer in Excel document. That's for project 1.